Hi, it's Katie. Today we are going to practice some yoga for the lower back. A couple of things that you might need for class aside from whatever you're practicing on, your yoga mat, your carpet at home, a towel, whatever you have handy, is 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have 2 yoga blocks, it's not a problem. If you could just grab maybe a couple sturdy books or even some oversized canned goods work well. So grab a couple of those and then also a yoga strap. And again, you don't have to have a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, grab a bathrobe tie, a dog leash, or a long towel. So whatever you have at home is going to work perfectly. And then the last thing is a sturdy pillow. I have a yoga bolster here, but it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but something that we'll be using to support our body weight. So, you know, a couch pillow works good, or just a couple of bed pillows, whatever you have handy. So grab those now. And then we're going to begin already in a supported child's pose. So you're going to need that pillow right away. So go ahead and lay it, lengthwise down on your mat. And then you're going to come onto your knees. So we'll straddle this bolster, this pillow. Knees can be as wide as you want them to be. Now, I've done this pose before, and I find that my bolster is a little too low for me. So I'm actually going to grab my blocks and put them underneath just to raise it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be high, and you might find that you don't even need a bolster. That's fine. It's just a nice restorative child's pose for us to start with. So once you've got your pillow where you want it, and feel free to wiggle and adjust as much as you need to, you're going to go ahead and lay down on that bolster. And then I'm going to untalk this way because of the microphone. You're going to rest one cheek on your pillow and see how that feels. Make any adjustments you need. If that's too intense on the tops of your feet, you could roll up a little towel in the front of your ankles. I just want us to get to know our breath here. Before I do that, what I hadn't said earlier, everyone, is to really listen to your body, right? This is hopefully to alleviate some back pain and to build some strength in the lower back. But don't do anything that hurts. Nothing should pinch or twinge. Just some hard work and breath, but no pain. So keep that in mind. So keeping that head turned to that same side for a couple more breaths. Just noticing your breath. You don't have to do a thing to change it here. Just want you to notice where your body moves when you breathe. Go ahead and switch the side of your face that's on your pillow. And as you're here, maybe noticing the length of your breath. Does it feel long and deep, or does it feel pretty shallow? Or neither? Is it somewhere in between? If there's no judging, we're just being in the moment and seeing what we need in each moment. Trying not to think about the past or jump ahead. Just stay with right now. And just focusing on your breath. Trying your best to get your breath slow and deep without strain. And nice and smooth. So if at any point during class you're feeling like you need a break, just you can come to this pose or just sit quietly and just breathe. We'll take one more full deep breath here in our restorative child's pose. And you take your time, you support yourself with your hands and gently pushing up to sit. We're going to go ahead and remove our pillow out of the way. So just off to the side for a few minutes. And we're also going to move our blocks out of the way. And then from here, I'd like you to come to a hands and knees position. So finding hands and knees on your mat. Try to line up your hands right under your shoulders and then your knees right under your hips. Okay, so we've got that. And then from there, check your spine in space. Just literally feel where the curves might be. Notice if it's sagging anywhere. I want you to feel as though your tailbone is going to reach straight back behind you and the crown of your head is going to reach straight out in front of you. Also feel a gentle pulling up and in of the abdominal muscles. So we're going to support your back here with your abs. And then we're going to work a table balance pose, but moving. And we're just going to start with the arms, then we'll do the legs, and we'll add them both together. So on the next inhale, take your right arm and just sweep it up in front of you, parallel to the ground. On the exhale, take it back down. And that's it. We're going to do it with the other arm now. Inhaling, opposite arm lifts up. Then exhale down. Right? Inhale, opposite arm again. Exhale down. Switching sides. And one more breath each arm. Inhale that opposite arm up. Exhale it down. The whole time belly's engaged. Inhaling opposite arm up. And exhaling it down. Perfect. Now from here, we're going to add on some legs. So arms stay planted, hands stay planted under those shoulders, fingers spread wide, right? Pressing through the knuckles, not the base of the wrist. We're going to engage the belly and then extend that left leg straight back behind you, flexing through the foot, and then exhale it back down to the mat. We'll do that again. Inhaling, opposite leg straight back behind you, flex that right foot, and exhale back down to the mat. So 2 more each side. Inhaling, opposite leg lifts. Straight back, toes pointed toward the mat. Exhale down, inhale, right leg up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale left. Exhale down. Last time on the right side. And then exhale down. Good job. We're going to come to a mini child's pose here. Let's go ahead and sink your hips toward your heels. And you can stay up high like this, or you can go ahead and rest that forehead on the mat, walking those hands out in front. Next, inhale, guys, come back up to hands and knees. Finding that good table spot where your belly's engaged. And now we're going to do opposite arm and leg at the same time. So on the next inhale, pick one arm, right, and that opposite leg extends out. So both limbs straight out from the socket, and exhale, they both come down. So switch sides. Other leg, other arm, big inhale, stretch it out, and exhale it down. You got it. A couple more times. Inhaling, extending, and exhaling to drop it to the mat. Keep it going. We've got one more each side here. Extend on the inhale. Exhale, take it down. One more time here. And take it down. Good job. That's great strengthening for the back. Just take a couple gentle cat-cows here. So on the inhale breath, let the belly sink toward the mat, kind of wiggling your tail and your heart up to the sky, pushing the ground away from you. If you're having pain, obviously not to do it. On the exhale breath, tuck the tailbone around the spine, all the way to the head, and squeeze out all that air. So inhaling, letting the belly sink. And exhale, opposite move, around your back like a rainbow. Inhaling, belly sinks. Exhale into that little rainbow. All right, and then coming back to a flat tabletop. We're going to move into a little puppy dog pose now. I'll take my earring out because it keeps hitting the mic. All right, so what I want you to do is your hips and your knees can stay right where they are, right above those knees and hips together, and then we're going to drop to the elbows. So already you might be having a little bit of dip in the low back. Staying here is perfectly fine, right? Shoulders away from ears, gazing at the floor. But if you can handle a little bit more, we're going to walk the hands more forward. Those elbows reach out in front of you, right? Keep it going. If there's pain, stop. But if you're okay, you can keep going all the way maybe to your chin hits the mat or your forehead hits the mat. You could also even take a block and rest your forehead on it. So whatever works for you in your puppy dog pose. Staying here for just a few breaths. All right, friends, very gently, we're going to inch our elbows very slowly toward our body. Little by little by little. Coming back up to hands and knees. I have a block, I need to remove that. And then from here, I want you to walk your hands forward a little bit so that you're a flat board from knees to head. And we're going to go ahead and lower to the belly. So come all the way down to the floor. Back a little bit. And just resting here with a little pillow with your hands, head on your hands. Let your heels drop out. Just resting in crocodile, which is a nice restful spot on the belly. And then from here, you're going to take your hands by your armpits. So go ahead and slide those hands right next to your armpits on the floor, fingers spread nice and wide. We're going to firm up the legs a little bit. So press the tops of the feet into the mat, the front of the pelvis. Get your shoulder blades to retract and come together a little bit behind you. Right, so you have lots of space in your neck. We're going to use our back muscles to try and lift our heart off the floor. So go ahead, when you're ready, big inhale, lift that heart up, even if it's a 1/4 inch. If you can handle a little bit more, go a little bit more. So you can feel your lower back muscles and your mid back too, right? Strengthening and pulling you up. If you can, to make sure you're using your back and not your arms, you could float your hands just off the mat slightly and see. You don't have to keep them there, but just check. So keep breathing up here in a baby cobra pose. And if you're breathing deep, your body is probably moving a little bit. All right, as you're ready, we're going to relax in the crocodile again. So make a pillow with your hands, forehead to your hands, let your heels drop out to the side. Really let your back go. You can even wiggle your hips back and forth a little bit to release some of that tension. All right, and then we're going to take it a little step further into a little bit higher of a cobra, not quite an upward facing dog, but higher still. So you're going to take your hands again by your armpits, then maybe slide them back a little bit like mid-rib cage. So they're a little bit further back, still gluing your shoulder blades together behind you, tops of the feet press, and start to inhale and lift again, lift that heart. It's okay if you only get to baby cobra, no problem. Staying there and breathing. If you can add the arm strength though, go ahead and use your arms to press a little bit into the mat, but keep a bend in the elbow and keep the gaze straight ahead or at the floor. Right? Don't turn your neck to look anywhere. Keep the neck in line. Keep breathing. And then very gently lower yourself back down. We're going to find that crocodile pose again. Rest your forehead. In this crocodile, I want you to actually bend both knees, feet to the sky, and windshield wiper those feet back and forth. All right, everybody, slowly, we're gonna go ahead and drop those feet to the mat, tuck the toes, take the hands by the armpits, and just pushing yourself up, use your knees to come to table. You got it. And then from here, we're just gonna come to a seated position. So coming to sit any way that you want on your mat. Actually, I'm gonna go this way so that your legs are out in front of you, but your feet are bent. Your knees are bent, not your feet, right? And you're holding the backs of your thighs. So we're gonna work a little bit of a gentle boat with the option to make it a little deeper if you need to. So the feet are hip distance apart. Your hands are holding your thighs. Check your spine, right? I feel very hunched here. We wanna lift the heart, get the shoulders back and down, pull the belly in a little bit. So you feel really tall. And just here alone, learning to get that good posture and pulling the belly in might be enough for you. But if you can handle more, we're gonna move one leg with the breath. So keep this nice tall spine. Inhale, just lift your right foot to knee height. And then exhale, drop it back down. All right, left foot. Inhale to knee height. Exhale, drop it back down. Use your belly muscles if you can. Inhaling right foot. Exhaling, drop it. Inhaling left foot. Exhale, float it back down. One more each side. Inhale to lift. Use your belly. And then melt both feet to the mat. Take a breath, or 2 or 3. So we've got that. And now you know what's coming next. If you're up for it, we're gonna try and do both feet and hold them up there. So if you do have SI joint issues, which we're working on low back, but that is related, you might want to back off this pose, right? Or just do the one-legged again, or make sure you have a big pillow underneath your seat there. But if you're okay in the SI joint, we're going to lift the heart again, make sure you didn't lose your posture, and see if you can float the feet off the ground, maybe between tailbone and sits bones. All right, so this might be plenty for you, right? Hanging here and breathing deep. If you can handle more, we're going to try and lift those feet to knee height. Right, hold them up there, breathe deep. If it's too much for you, don't do it. Now, if you're more advanced, you can let go of the legs and do your full Navasana, your boat pose. But this is for our back pain friends, right? I've had a couple bouts of back pain in my life, so it's good to strengthen. So one more breath. I know it's a long time to hold this boat. And then gently lower those feet to the floor. Perfect. All right, so from here, you're gonna make sure you have your strap. You're gonna come lay down on your mat with your strap. So go ahead and lay all the way down. And then before we do the next pose, we're just gonna acclimate ourselves to the ground, right? So notice what you're feeling in your body. Notice your breath. Have things changed from the beginning of class to now? It's only been about 20 minutes, maybe a little less than that. But lots of stuff can happen when we start to move our body. So let's do this. Let's take your strap. We'll pull our left knee into the chest and take the strap around the bottom of the left foot. We're going to extend the left leg to the sky. So a couple options here. Usually if you have back issues, you'll also keep the right foot flat on the ground with the knee bent. If you're following along this low back class and you don't have back issues, you can extend the right leg. But for some of us, most of us will keep that knee bent. So from here, I want you to find the spot, not right in the middle of the foot, but just below the ball of the foot. So you have a little bit of, I don't know, traction or reflection there, instead of right in the middle where you really can't bend the foot at all. So find that perfect spot. We're gonna ground through both hips, right? Femur bones in the socket. You feel grounded into the floor, your shoulders are relaxed. And they can be because you have the strap. So even if you're flexible enough to reach your foot, I want you to grab the strap so that your shoulders can melt into the floor underneath you. So you've got that. Once everything's ready, you're gonna extend through that left leg, kind of reaching the heel like it could push into the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are. And then with the assist of the strap, try and get the toes toward the shin, right? So you can feel that stretch through the calf muscle, possibly in the hamstring. Now, if you can't feel it in the hamstring, you want to gently pull the whole leg towards your heart a little bit. And the reason why is because our hamstrings are definitely connected to our lower back. And we need to have those hamstrings a little looser. A lot of times those tight hamstrings contribute to hip pain and low back pain. So trying to stretch out the back of the leg and just breathe deep into that left leg. Shoulders soft. Your gaze can be soft. Your eyes could be closed if that helps. One more deep breath. And then as you're ready, we're gonna let the foot come out of the stretch a little bit. You're gonna bend that knee and you're gonna take that left foot to your right knee. And keep holding onto your strap for a moment. Okay, so we're gonna do kind of a reclining pigeon pose. This left leg's gonna just fall out away from your heart. Now, some of us can reach the back of that right thigh and some of us can't, not a big deal. So I'm gonna go ahead with you, take your strap as you pull your right knee in and thread it behind the right thigh so you can hold on to both ends with your hands, right? And then you can just pull that leg in towards you. And you should feel that stretch in this left hip area. Just holding gently. Flex the feet if you have knee issues. And just breathe here. And if you don't feel much, you can always pull this right knee closer in toward the body. Breathe deep. Holding here. Again, hips related to back as well. So getting You know, those hips a little looser will definitely help back pain. There are many variations of this pose. One of my favorite ones is on a wall. You can also do it just sitting in a chair. If you happen to be sitting a lot during the day, you can imagine where if I was in a chair seated, I would just cross that left foot to my right knee and fold over with the upper body. All right, friends, we're gonna let that hands go off that strap so that the right foot melts to the floor, and then uncross the left leg. We're gonna go ahead and take both knees into the chest, give a little squeeze, just gentle. If you think you can handle more, you're gonna make circles with your knees, massaging your entire lower back, actually in the middle, right, in the thoracic too. And then switch direction of your knee circles. All right, and then from here, we're gonna rest both feet back to the floor. Take a breath. And then find your strap. We're gonna pull the right knee in and take the strap on the bottom of the right foot, extending the right leg to the sky. So you've got your strap. Your shoulders are soft and melting into the ground. And then we're gonna push through that right heel up to the ceiling as the right toes come down toward the right shin. And in any of your poses, everybody start shallow. Notice how it's feeling, and then you'll know if you can go a little deeper. You don't want to go crazy the first breath, right? Nudge it as you go along, little by little. The more gentle you are with yourself, the deeper you will get in a safe way. Again, if you're not feeling anything in the ham, go ahead and pull the leg towards your torso, and you might feel a little bit more. Big deep breaths, telling the legs to loosen up, to relax. All right, we're gonna move into our reclining pigeon. So let the leg go a little bit, bend that knee, and open the hip joint so that the right foot comes to the left knee, right thigh falls away from you. Okay, that alone might be enough where you feel something. Everybody's different. But if not, we're gonna thread the strap behind that left thigh, right? And then we can use the support of the strap, we can't reach, to pull that left knee in close so that you can increase the stretch in that right hip. Flex both feet. Long back of the neck. If you're just gazing wherever your eyes go, right? Not straining, just breathe deep. Notice if this hip feels tighter or looser than the other hip. And remember, never judging. Just kind of being grateful for where we are right now and that we can be practicing yoga at all. Focusing on what's going well in our lives. All right, we're going to very gently come out of this pose. So taking that hands off the strap, the left foot melts, and then the right foot uncrosses. We're going to go ahead and take both knees into the chest. And then if you like to, rock side to side a little bit. All right, guys. So from here, I want you to drop those feet back to the mat. Knees are still bent. Hands could just be resting by your sides. It could be on your belly. This is a very subtle thing. We're just going to do some pelvic tucks here. So they're sometimes hard to, you can't see them very well because you're on the mat. I love to do these on those big exercise balls. You really get a lot of range. But for us, for right now, just notice when you're here on your floor, and you were to take your hand maybe to the lower back, you might be able to have a little hole under there, right? Because that's a natural curve of the spine. That's good, that's fine. What I want us to do is inhale where there's that natural curve, but on the exhale, we're gonna squish the hand. Actually, you can have your hand under there or not. I'm gonna take mine out. So inhaling is just the natural curve of the spine, and then on the exhale, you're gonna tilt your tailbone down and squish the floor with that low back. Just to tuck the pelvis, that's it. So then inhale your let that go, and then exhale, tuck the pelvis, pulling the belly muscles in. So inhale, letting it all go. Exhale, tuck. Inhale to let go. Exhale, tuck. Keep going, inhale. Exhale, tuck. You can also do this on the wall, even in chair pose. So lots of versions of this one. My favorite when I used to be in physical therapy for back pain eons ago was to kneel with your elbows on a chair and do the pelvic tucks like that. So anywhere you can get some pelvic tucks in throughout your day, go ahead and do it. So we're doing about 10 here, but you can do as many as you want. So let's go ahead and do one more. Inhale as the spine releases, and then exhale. Really tuck that tailbone and pull the belly in, and then release it all. Great. So from here, just make sure that your feet are hip distance apart still and that they are coming close into your seat. We're gonna work some bridge. Our hands are gonna be flat next to us by our sides, right? And then what we're gonna do is keep the neck straight. Don't look side to side. Just look up at the ceiling. We're gonna press through the feet and inhale to lift the hips up toward the ceiling. And I know sometimes I don't wanna lift, that's okay. Whatever you can do to feel like the hips can lift up and hold up here, guys. So inhaling deeply, exhaling fully. Nice long neck. If you're having any pain, come down. Trying to keep the knees from splaying out. Imagine you're squeezing one of those yoga blocks between your knees. And then very gently lower back down to the mat. And then take a deep breath. All right, we're going to do that 2 more times. Ready? Press through the feet. Inhale, lift the hips up. Coming up only as high as your body says it wants to go today. Not your ego, right? Your ego's either going to tell you maybe, oh, I really want to go for it today, or no, I don't really want to do anything, she says. Just find the spot where your back and your legs and your body tell you where to go. So leave your thinking mind out of it and just feel. Right? If this is too long for you, go ahead and lower down. Not a big deal. And then lowering all the way back down to the mat. Taking a few breaths here in our bridge pose. Actually, out of our bridge pose, right? We're going to do it one more time. So get ready, find your nice, slow, calm breath. Press through your feet. Inhale those hips back up. Breathing deep, long neck. Maybe just envisioning a healthy spine, right? No pain at all. You're healthy, healthy. Everything feels great. You wake up every day and you feel wonderful. So imagine that as we're holding this pose. And then slowly lower down. Last bridge. Great job. Take a few breaths there. And then just to release, let's take both knees into the chest and just again, give a little rock side to side. All right, friends. So we're going to do a very gentle assisted twist. I want you to grab your big pillow that you had, right? You're just going to take it to the side of you. I'll put mine here so you can see. So just to the side, nothing fancy, right? Maybe a little closer. What I want us to do is just lean our legs. We'll pull them in first. Pull those knees into the chest and lean the legs onto your pillow. Right? Adjust as you need to feel comfortable. So they're not all the way on the ground. You're supporting your legs with your pillow. Okay, so already you might feel a twist here. If you rather, you can come actually onto your side and relax into like a side lean. But from here, try to get that top shoulder down to the ground. If it doesn't reach, it's not a big deal. We're going to extend this opposite arm out alongside. Straight out from the shoulder would be good, but I have a wall here interrupting me. So this is our twist here. Keep your neck straight and look at the ceiling for now. I find if you've ever had any neck issues, keeping the neck straight up will be beneficial as opposed to looking over opposite shoulder if we're keeping it gentle. And just holding this twist here. If you're straining to get that opposite shoulder to the ground, you'd always grab another pillow and put it under this opposite arm. So holding this twist, fresh blood and oxygen circling around the vertebrae. We're just giving those vertebrae, a very gentle twist, not too extreme if you're not used to it. All right, friends, we are going to do the other side. So very carefully, you can pull your knees up and toward you. Maybe let the feet drop for a moment, take a breath. See how you're feeling. Make sure your spine is aligned again. So you can flip-flop your body or flip-flop your pillow. I'm going to take my pillow to the other side. Okay, and then again, pulling the knees in and just lowering them over to your pillow. Nothing crazy. And then the opposite shoulder tries to melt to the ground and extends out. So nice gentle twist again. Nothing too crazy. Breathing here. And then as you're ready, we're going to take the knees back in towards center. Letting the feet come to the ground. Make sure your spine feels straight. And then one more time, knees into chest. Take a breath here. And then we'll take the feet to the floor. Make sure your pillow's out of your way. You're going to walk your feet mat distance apart. So they're wider than your hips. Hands can be anywhere. And we're just going to windshield wiper the legs back and forth. So you're going to drop to one side and then come up and over to the other side. So go ahead and make this a moving vinyasa. Inhaling as the knees lift, exhaling as they drop to the side. Keep going, inhaling up and exhaling. I want you to keep going. I don't know if you can hear my cat meowing. I'm going to let him in. Yes, we heard you, Shadow. So back and forth, gentle windshield wipers. All right, and then from there, letting them stop. If there's any other pose you want to squeeze in here, go ahead and do that on your own. Otherwise, we're going to come into Shavasana, and you're going to need your pillow for that. So you have a few options. I like to make like a little, like a Stonehenge with my bolster and my blocks. That way, my feet are elevated. So you could just when you get a massage and they throw the bolster under your knees, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can go ahead and grab your books, your blocks, whatever you have, and make a little tower here for your lower legs to rest on. I know, we see you, kitty cat. All right, so going ahead and elevating your legs feels real nice. And we're gonna go ahead and roll down, right, into our Shavasana. So taking as much time as you need to get situated and find a comfortable spot. When you feel comfortable, make sure you're warm enough. You're going to close your eyes, letting the palms just float up, right? Face up to the ceiling. Close your eyes and notice your breath. So we don't want to change our breath here in our relaxation pose. We just want to let it be. Go ahead and just feel like your whole body is relaxing now. From your feet to your head. So allow some softness to wash over the soles of your feet, over your toes and the tops of your feet to your ankles. Your lower legs soften, your knees, the front and the backs of your knees, the thighs, the pelvis, the hips, relaxing both sides of your ribs, front and back, and take special note to your low back and just feel or see, imagine that your low back is healing. Whatever ailment might be there is completely going away. Relaxing your entire back now onto the mat. Your shoulders, your chest, your whole torso now soft. Your arms from shoulders to elbows, from elbows to wrists. The backs of your hands, your fingers, the palms. Everything soft. Relaxing your neck, the back of your head, the top of your head, your forehead, your eyes and eyebrows, your nose, your cheeks, your mouth, your chin, your ears, even the tongue inside the mouth. Everything's softening now. And just let yourself rest here for a while. If you need to stay longer, you can go ahead and do that. But if you feel rested, you're going to bring your awareness back to this room. Even if your eyes are closed, imagining what it looks like. Maybe checking your breath and actually deepening it now. Feeling the temperature around you, maybe on your skin, the floor underneath you, the sounds. And only when you're ready, start to wiggle fingers and toes. And then we'll bend the knees very gently. And with eyes still closed, rolling over to your side. After you've taken a few breaths on your side, go ahead and use your top hand to help you push up to sit. Eyes can stay closed. In a seated position, we'll just take our hands to our heart center. And bowing to your hands, which signifies that you are honoring your own self and your own spirit. Namaste.